An all-new season of NL Now starts right now on Canada's Superstation, NTV. Hey there, folks, and welcome back to NL Now on NTV. I am your host, as always, Mr. Clyde Washington. Now, today is the very special season premiere episode for our 6th season here on NTV, and I am very excited to say that we have some positive changes planned for the show this time around, one of which is the addition of an on-air sidekick. Every good talk show host needs their right-hand man, and mine just so happens to also be my father. You know him and love him for some reason that I can't quite understand. It's Raymond Washington. Thank you. I can see you all now sat on your couches and applauding for me. Okay, so Dad, why don't you tell our audience who the special guest is this morning? It's one of the most talented people on the East Coast. Oh, one of the most talented people on the East Coast. Our special guest today must be the pride and joy of Spring Hill, Nova Scotia, the singing snowbird herself, Miss Anne Murray. No, our guest is not Anne Murray. We just went over this before we came on the air. No, Clyde, I'm pretty sure it's Order of Canada recipient and 4-time Grammy Award winner, Anne Murray. I don't even know what to say. How did you get the wrong script or something? Oh, you know what? I'm reading off of my dream guest list, not today's guest list. I must have got them mixed up, but Anne, if you are watching, please respond to my fan mail. Okay, Dad, please just stay on topic and let's get to introducing today's guest. Okay, I'm on it. Well, today on the show, we are actually delighted to have Newfoundland and Labrador's own piano man, Evan Watts-Smith, joining us on the program. Our first guest of Season 6 has been performing for many years, but just recently put out his first ever solo EP of music. The 6-song release titled Turn on the Dark garnered him a Music NL nomination, and here he is now, folks, with the debut single titled Until You Love Me, Evan Watts-Smith. It's going to be great.
The phone rings, it's you again. Calling to talk about another man. He brought you flowers with the price tag still on, and paid for his half of the bill. Listen in silence, what good would it do for me to say those 3 words to you? Maybe someday you'll feel the same way, but for now I'm gonna leave you alone until you love me. Why can't you just love me? I go to learn how I can get over you. to you. Maybe someday you'll feel the same way. Oh, but for now, I'm gonna leave you alone. Tell you to love me. Why can't you just love me? What do I have to do? Oh, and when will you hold me? Where can I go to learn how I can get over you?
Welcome back, folks, to NL Now here on NTV. Now, you just saw him perform his first song before the commercial break there, and he's going to sing again for us later on. But right now, we're going to chat about everything going on right now with his career at the moment. Evan Watts-Smith, welcome to NL Now.
Thank you. It's thrilling to be here. Thanks for having me.
Well, it's great to have you here in the studio this time. Some of our viewers may remember your first appearance you made on the show a couple years ago. We filmed in your living room when you played some Billy Joel and Elton John for us. But it's great to have you here today playing some original music.
It's very cool. It's funny because the gig we were promoting last time was the NSO gig, and that's the reason that I made an album.
Yes.
Yeah, I finished doing that show, and I went, that's the best thing I'm ever going to do. And I thought, what can I do to satisfy myself in my career after that? And it was write my own music.
Now, before we do get into chatting about your original music, one thing I did want to ask you about was your involvement in the Canada Summer Games festivities here in St. John's a little while back now. I was actually there in the audience at the closing ceremonies, and it was such an amazing show. So why don't you tell the folks at home what your role was and how the whole experience was?
Yeah, it was thrilling. I was the music director and also the host. And while I'm not bilingual, I was hosting in English and French. Because I used to coach some French at the university, so I'm okay with French. My understanding is not as good as my speaking, but yeah, I had the really big thrill of leading the house band and emceeing the whole evening on national television, and amazing guests like Porter Poutine and Morgan Toney and Alan Doyle, and yeah, it was so thrilling to be a part of. And the team who worked on it were like, the sound guy, I said to him one day, I said, Mark, are you going home on Monday once this is all over? And he said, no, I got to go to New York. I'm doing sound for Feist at Madison Square Garden. So that's the type of people we were working with. It was really incredible.
Yeah, that's great. Now, you touched on this a little bit a second ago with your EP, Turn on the Dark. Now, my question was, why did you feel now was the right time to record some original music? Yeah,
like I said, it was the NSO thing that really pushed it over the top. I always wanted to do it. I always wanted to make my own music, but I never really prioritized it. And after that super high and then crashed to super low, after the symphony gig, I thought, okay, this is time. And I met up with a couple of guys from Hurricane Music, who you probably know, Dave Shears and Matt Dines. And with them, I applied for some grants, and thanks to Music NL and Arts NL and the City of St. John's, I was able to make, the EP that I had dreamed of. So it was, the horns, the strings, the full arrangements. It was thrilling.
Yeah. Now, earlier this year, you put off a release concert at the Majestic Theater in St. John's to perform these new songs, along with some great covers. And I know you are no stranger to playing in front of crowds, but how did it feel to get to play your own music?
That's a great question. Thank you, Clyde. It was definitely different. It was... Yeah, there was an extra connection to it, and it was also, I played them at gigs a couple of times, but to be saying your own words out loud has that extra level of, personal connection that's different than singing someone else's words,
Yeah.
So it was pretty cool to be able to do that and have people go away and go, oh my God, this is my favorite song. And rather than it being like Benny and the Jets, it was like, that's my song. Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, when you were putting this collection of songs together, where did you draw the inspiration from?
Well, it was sort of all about relationships and the different styles of relationships. There's one song on there that's about the relationship of a parent and their children, which is heavy. And I wrote when my oldest son was going to kindergarten, and I was thinking about him graduating high school, and that made me weep and then write a song. There's another song on there about my wife and the amazing human that she is and how grateful I am for that relationship. There's also like songs about like being in the friend zone when you're in love with somebody and you would like to be with them, but they're not interested in you. So it's all about, it's like a self-discovery kind of thing.
Now, with this EP, you were recently nominated for Music NL's Rising Star of the Year Award. Tell me, how did that feel when you found out about that nomination?
It was really great. I forgot the nominations were coming out, and I was at the Canada Games dress rehearsal, and I was sitting down. We were on a break, and I had my phone in my hand, and I was going, just flicking and waiting. And the director came over, and he said, "What do you think about what do you think about this thing?" I said, "I'm sorry, what was that?" And he said, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I'm sorry, the Music NL nominations are coming, and I really want to see if I'm nominated." And anyway, I was thrilled to see Rising Star of the Year was like, I've always been on the outside of that community, so it's pretty thrilling to be in there.
Well, we're going to take a very short commercial break here now, Evan, but folks at home, please do stay with us. We're going to come back after this break with more from Evan and more NL Now. Welcome back, folks, to NL Now here on NTV. I'm joined once again by Evan Watts-Smith here at our interview desk. Now, this past summer, Evan, you've also continued your work with Come From Away in Gander. How has that been going?
It's been great. I think we all thought the third year it happens was going to be pretty easy, and it wasn't. We had a lot of issues we had to sort of deal with, but they all, the summer happened and it happened with flying colors. So I think it was really thrilling. And while there's no announcement yet, next year is the 25th anniversary of 9/11. So I think the thought is that next year is going to be a really big year out there.
Yes.
It's really, it's an honor to be involved in that show. It's really special.
Now, where can people hear your original music if they want to hear some more and maybe pick up a physical copy or a download?
Well, they can go to Spotify or Apple Music or YouTube. And I'm sure there's a bunch of other ones because you upload on DistroKid and there's like a bunch of things. So I don't know what they're called, but I'm sure if you Google me, you'll find it.
Yes.
And you can get some hard copies at Fred's Records. We all know and love. There's some vinyl there because I had to have a vinyl for myself because I love a vinyl. And there are also some CDs if you still have a CD player. I do not, but you might.
All right, well, that all sounds great, Evan. And we're going to do something now that I like to do with all of our guests on the show, a little game called Get to Know Me, where I'll ask you 5 questions and you'll come back with the first answer that pops into your head.
I'm ready.
All right, we'll start with your favorite color.
Green.
Favorite food.
Sushi.
The best concert you've ever been to.
Elton John.
A dream vacation destination.
Disney cruise.
And finally, this one's a bit of a double question here. So if Billy Joel and Elton John both walked into this room right now and offered to play you one song each from their extensive catalogs, which songs would you want to hear and why?
That's such a good question. Billy Joel, I think I would want to hear Zanzibar. It's sort of a B-side. It's a wicked tune. It's got like all these different shifts, or maybe The Stranger because of his whistling is so good.
Yes.
But I think Zanzibar. Elton, I think I would want to hear Madman Across the Water. It's one of the only Elton John songs I don't do because I find it so hard to sing, and he destroys it. Yeah.
Well, that's great. Thank you so much, Evan, for coming in today and chatting with us and playing for us. We'll have another song from Evan later on in the show, but for right now, we're throwing things over to Raymond for the first installment of Raymond's Record Reviews for our 6th season. Today on Raymond's Record Reviews, I'll be introducing you to 3 albums by Newfoundland and Labrador-based artists that feature music more traditionally heard in other parts of the world. Up first for you, I have the Kubasonics, an award-winning Ukrainian group that have combined their top-shelf musical talents with humor and a collection of exotic instruments that all comes together for a unique genre that they have labeled as speed folk. They've released 6 albums, but the most recent, titled Cuba Songs, was released a couple of years back, and my personal favorite track on the album is called Buckwheat. It's a great one for dancing to. Now, Kubasonics leader Brian Cheerwick actually appeared on NL Now a couple of seasons ago, where he showcased some of the instruments played on the record. Up next for you, I have Port-au-Poutine, a 2-time Music NL award-winning French-Canadian music duo that performs French-Canadian music with a Newfoundland twist. The duo features Jenna Maloney and Axel Bellegarde. Now, I don't want you to think that you need to understand French to be able to enjoy their music, because even though their lyrics are in French, I believe that music is a language in itself and can be enjoyed by anyone, anywhere, no matter the language they speak. Now, Port-au-Poutine's self-titled debut album, released in 2023, includes a beautiful French cover of Newfoundland favorite Sarah. And that's my favorite track on the album that I'd recommend you check out to start with. Now, finally today on Raymond's Record Reviews is Anna and Eric, who are a Brazilian duo based in St. John's that perform a blend of Brazilian bossa nova and indie folk music. They've been nominated for multiple ECMAs and Music NL awards. Their first album, titled Our House From Here, features 9 songs, and my favorite song from that album is called Home. Now, I'd love to hear all about your favorite Newfoundland and Labrador albums as well. So head on over to the NL Now Productions Facebook page and let me know what you are listening to, and you just might see it featured here on a future episode. That's all for today's installment of Raymond's Record Reviews. I'm asking you all to get out there, listen to some new music, and enjoy it. NL Now will be right back after this short break here on NTV. Well, folks, thank you so much for tuning in today here to NTV for the 6th season premiere of NL Now. And I'd also like to thank this morning's very special guest. Here he is now to close out our show, once again, Evan Watts-Smith.
I love the way the light from your eyes lights up your whole face, and everything around you starts to blossom and bloom. Girl, you light up the room, just one smile, and the world's a brighter place. The sunrise on an August morning cannot compare to the light that shines from you. What did I do to deserve you, eyes of blue? First time I saw your face, I couldn't catch my breath. I had thought my glass was half full, but now it's tipping over. I forgot to say when, now you're pouring again. So let's just jump in, bask in this ocean we've made. just whirl and be me. So it's plain to see eternity. It's just you and me. Sunrise on an August morning cannot compare to the light that shines from you. What did I do to deserve you? For as long as I've got here in this spot with you is a way